This is the Board of Trustees meeting for Sylvania Township. It's our regular meeting, second meeting this month. Today is Tuesday, May 21st. Time is 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order, and Dave, will you do the roll?
Yes, I will. Mr. Genoa is out of town. Mr. Mahoney? Here. Mr. Crandall?
Here.
Simcoe, here.
Can we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the May 7th regular meeting minutes.
Second. Call the roll. Mr. Mahoney? Yes. Mr. Crandall?
Yes. Are there any deletions or additions to the agenda, John? All right, we'll move ahead. I didn't see anybody signed up for non-agenda items. Hearing of the public for agenda items. I know we have one guest here. We'll just take it up, if that's all right with you, under our normal agenda. All right, we'll move to the zoning department.
Good evening.
Hi, Darrell.
Hi, Darrell.
I have one resolution. This is 19063, resolution to approve an exception to resolution 16096 requiring pedestrian access for new developments and redevelopments. This is for the property at 7851 Sylvania Avenue, parcel number 7831321. This is the new Timberstone Animal Hospital, Timberstone Veterinary. They're applying for an exception to the sidewalk resolution for both Silica and Sylvania Avenue. This is under section 3C of resolution 1696, so that if an adjoining property develops sidewalks, they will be required to put in sidewalks within 180 days of that adjoining property. And
Any questions? No?
I don't.
the applicant is here as well.
Yes, do you want to speak?
I do not, because I know you've heard me too much, but Dr. Jennifer Tate would like to address the trustees issue.
Okay, sure. Can we have your address, please?
Yes, do you want my
That's,
business?
thank you.
Hi, would you like my business address or home address?
It's up to you. Use your business.
How about the business address, since we're talking about that? It's 7851 West Sylvania Avenue in Sylvania. My name is Jennifer Tate. I am a veterinarian and one of the co-owners of Timberstone Vet. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. We're very excited to be starting a new business, and especially in the township. We've, as you I'm sure know, recently fought off a somewhat forced attempt from the city to annex us, and our desire was to be in the township. So I've been a veterinarian and have lived or worked in a combination of the city and township for the last 23 years. I've made this my home. When I was looking to build this veterinary hospital, I was looking for a couple of things when it came to demographics. I wanted to be west of town. I recognize there's a lot of new developments and growth occurring to the west of us, and we also recognize that people tend to want to come within 5 miles of where you put your business. So in addition, it was a CRA property, so there were a lot of things that were attractive about this property. I felt that perhaps we could bring some of our old clients, if they want to see us, wouldn't have to travel too far, and new clients coming from the west would drive by and see our place. So there was a lot of great things about this property, but it wasn't 100% ideal. As many of you, I'm sure, know, it was zoned industrial. When we started looking at the property, we had to have it moved to commercial. When you look at what's around us, as you head to the west, we have the quarry, which does separate us from the residential area, as well as the fire department, which we're grateful is right there, and A&J Landscaping. So it's not an easy access for folks that would be trying to walk from that area. They would have to drive. Our Silica to the south is all industrial and business park. We got Kroger to the east, and to the north we have Lock It Up, which is not a walk-to destination for most people. The only residential area is Sylvan Lakes, which, by the way, does not have a sidewalk in front of their property at this time. So when we looked at this property, it's not a property that my clients are going to walk to. It's going to be a location they're going to need to drive to. We're not going to use the sidewalks associated with our facility. My clients just don't do that. From an aesthetic standpoint, it's beautiful. I don't know if you've been by there recently, but the property before was dumpsters and broken glass. It's the building that's going up. I think it's just beautiful. I think it's done a lot for that corner. Like I said, we're excited to be here, and I certainly understand that if in the future the properties coming in next to us are bringing in a sidewalk, and it makes sense to have that sidewalk there, and more people would use it, I would 100% support putting it in before a new business that's starting up, for that cost and maintenance for what we have at this time, which is not really surrounded by a residential area that people are going to walk to. We just hope that at this time you'd understand why we're asking for the exemption. I'm happy to answer any questions or concerns, and again, I really appreciate your time and support.
We don't have any questions.
Great.
We're excited about having.
Thank you for your investment.
Yes, thank you.
Believe me, we've been following this from the rezoning. We know the stance on these. We know your legal counsel. I almost feel like we should apologize for what you've been through there, but we're glad to see you in the township.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
John, you're still passing comment, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I'll offer resolution 190638 to approve and accept an exception requiring the pedestrian access for new development for the property located at 7851 Sylvania Avenue.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go. I'll let you decide.
I don't have to look across the dais.
See ya. Thank you, Doc.
I was thinking
Good,
we're all
thanks.
going through this process.
I hope the
Thanks.
project goes a lot smoother.
Yeah, congrats.
Being a veterinarian is the easy part, I think.
Next item is the monthly report for zoning from the month of April. We had a really good month permit-wise, 55 permits, but the dollar value you'll see is what really did it. Estimated value of $9.2 million, that's an 87% increase over a year ago, and that stems mostly from at the very top there, you see commercial, there's 3 permits, $5.735 million estimated value. $5.7 million of that is the Kripke plant, the former Reichert stamping plant, that you're well aware of, what's going on there. They're doing a major renovation, so that's what put us so far ahead for the month there. On year-to-date for permits, we're up 7.1% on amount of permits and up 37.6% in estimated value at $22 million. Page 2, please. Single-family dwellings, we're still down from last year, 27%, although it is picking up in the past month or two. We're not quite down as much as we were. And if you look at the 2015, 16, and 17, we're well above those. Estimated value, we're down 17.6%, but the approximate value per dwelling is still up at $280,000. That's almost a 13% increase over the estimated value of single-family dwellings a year ago. Page 3, zoning complaints. We had 26 for the month of April. That represents an 8% increase over last year. Year-to-date, we're at 53. That's a 6% increase over last year, so pretty much the same as it was a year ago. Page 4, zoning department monthly meetings. The BZA had a pretty busy meeting in April. There was 4 cases. I'm sorry, 3 cases. You see them listed there. The zoning commission did not meet, and we had project plan review for the new Waffle House coming in on Monroe Street. And I expect they're going to be applying for zoning permit here real soon, probably within the next week or so. That's on Monroe Street, right next to Mancy's, between Mancy's and Midas.
Guess we have no questions, Laura, good job.
And then just on the last page, page 5, CarMax, who submitted their original project plan review in 2013 and then has had multiple extensions on that. The last extension ran out April 30th, and they were aware of that. So they're going to need to submit for a new project plan review if they choose to go forward. And then the only other thing was just, again, mentioning the former Riker plant there. Well, that's all I have.
That's really good news with Riker coming in. That building needs some work, as you know. I don't have any questions, do you? Thanks, Phil, appreciate it. Road Department?
Evening, gentlemen. First on the agenda for us is Resolution 19065. This is to accept the contracts for sale and purchase of easements for Wolfinger Road. This ties into our Ohio Public Works Commission project. We needed these easements to realign the road and the ditch area. None of the easements are over 10 feet. Majority of them are 2 to 4 feet areas that we're doing. But the homeowners that we solicited these easements from were very cooperative. There was a few late nights out there with them, but we got it done and we were able to purchase them for $1. So.
I'll make that quick motion. I'll offer motion 19065, accept contract and purchase of easement.
Second.
Commissioner Randall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Thank you, and if you would,
Nice job on
have
that.
the
I know
signature.
it takes a little extra effort to negotiate those.
yeah, they were very cooperative residents, and they understood the project, so assistance from the county helped too. So next item is the monthly report for April. As you know, we did our spring cleanup. Majority of that month was dedicated to that. We had about a 40% increase in our brush due to those ice storm and the windstorm. Leaf pickup was a little bit higher than normal, but other than that, it took us about 2 weeks longer than normal. And that was keeping the contractors on an additional 5 days as well, longer than we typically do. So there was quite a bit out there. We did start our first round of street sweeping, did some pothole repairs. All of our construction crews are starting to swing into action and get out there and get some of the road repairs. We prepared the cemetery for some holidays, and we did a lot of drainage and flooding issues due to all the rain, just the standard tile plugs and stuff like that. And we did support the Glass City Marathon. I under the impression it went off fairly well because I didn't get a phone call that weekend at all, so I'm assuming everything went well. Chief? Okay. We did conduct our interviews, and we hired utility workers and a service manager during the month. As you know, Mr. Ralph Carroll from Springfield Township will be coming in to replace Gary Carruthers, our service manager, so looking forward to him. And we did hire a utility worker, Jared Burt. He's a young man from the Maumee area. He's got some experience with the military engineering and the Parks and Rec area, so he'll be a nice asset as well. The service department, we're focused on getting our equipment ready for our construction equipment and lawn equipment, stuff like that. They put 29 in service, the new cop car 29, and we're continuing to build the Ford Explorer 22 to put that in service pretty soon. Our maintenance guy, he's doing his regular maintenance issues. He did some painting I hear over at the police department, and I know the administration here in the building heard it all day long. It sounded like elephants wrestling on the roof. They were putting a new roof on up there, so he helped assist getting all that ready. And then we did some construction work zone safety training, prepping for summer this month. The second page, our big project list there. We're still working on trying to get those wrapped up, waiting on the county. I'm doing the EPA permit now. Apparently, that is a new thing that the county used to do for us. Now, I'm putting those together, so as soon as I finish that up, I give that to the engineers, and they'll finish the plan, and we'll get that out to bid. And the second projects and all those subsequent projects. We focused this year, really starting early winter, on a lot of drainage projects. As you can see there, we're working on them. We added one additional one, which would be Eggman Ditch, and that's east of Stewart, north of Alexis area there. We got a bunch of complaints in that area from drainage, so we went in there and we're remediating all those issues there, so. The pavement in the parking lot project should take off. Here, I spoke with the contractor, he's gonna start in about 2 weeks, so we'll get notices out to everybody where they need to park and if they're gonna be in the way out there, so. One of these driveways will maintain open all the time, so they should never have, the main parking lot will not be affected, so should be no issues for primarily most of the employees, so. That's all I have. Do you have any questions?
You have any questions?
I don't.
I was on Parcel the other day and I thought, man, where they're putting the new villas in and the next day I saw our street sweeper there making a double pass to
Yeah.
clean that up, so I compliment them.
We've got,
Being on top of things.
we've been in contact with them out there, RWS, for, that issue. And, if you stop in their office in there, you'll see that, I was able to put together the micro-servicing contract with, Richfield Township, the cooperative agreement, so that's sitting in there. That's an addition, and that's a small contract, so no effect on the budget, really.
You did get the crack sealing too, didn't you?
I went out crack sealing without bid for,
Good.
yeah, so we kept it under the threshold, and I got, I request for proposals, and I took the best and cheapest, lowest cost, and we saved about $10,000 versus using the county cooperative purchase program.
Wow,
Nice.
We added roads and we saved $10,000.
wow.
Great job.
Yeah.
That's all
Thank you.
we're proud of every month.
Fiscal? Dave?
The one resolution, 19-064, is to establish a new expense account in the general fund. Oh, yes, it's for tuition reimbursement. There it is, right there.
All right, I'll offer 19064 tuition reimbursement.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
And the financial report for the month-end analysis of April, the revenues come in nicely as expected. It's up slightly, which is good for our projections. And the expenses, the mean would be 33%. All of our departments are a little bit below that. If you really discount road and bridge, which expenses fluctuate more depending on the time of the year, you look at the general police and the fire fund, they're all slightly below. So that's a good thing, that's what we're always looking for, but it's still early. No reason for us to have any concerns at this point on our finances.
I appreciate the department heads keeping the expenses within the budget. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You're the boss. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to miss a comment from you.
Well, you're going to say open discussion. I wanted to read a letter that I got
Yep.
on behalf of Mr. Zeitler. On behalf of the residents of King Hollow, I want to thank you for your service to the township and congratulations on your upcoming retirement. We appreciate your information with our recent challenges and we wish you well. Thank you again, Kings Hollow Homeowners Association. So,
Appreciate that.
yeah, anyways.
Thank you. That's the noise people too, yeah, that's good.
So, great job. Good to hear, nice to hear that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
One item I had thing on the agenda, Mr. Zeitler and myself have talked about our new administrator coming in, and I'm putting in your in basket, and John and yourself, a little program we came up with from Mentor, and we listed some potential contacts. If you want to add to it or delete, fine. I put some initials for you, Neil.
Okay.
I'm not sure I did for John, but agencies I thought like home builders that you have contacts with. But if you want to change it, just change it.
Sure.
Any comments, get back to Mr. Zeitler, so that when he arrives, we're ready to go on that. Okay,
I
Dave?
like it.
Thank you.
Thanks for your effort on that,
No
John.
problem. No problem. John did most of the work. Open discussion and reports, fire department.
Hi, guys. Obviously, you've had the report. Page 2, we've been trying to do some of the anniversary stuff, and the one to make note of is Chief Nye reached his 25 years, so kudos to him. That's an awesome accomplishment. Page 3, incident count. I do have to make, there was a couple of errors. A couple of zeros got put in where they shouldn't have been. When you look at the pre-incident value and losses, there was a couple of zeros added there that shouldn't have been, so I will try to get you the corrected page. I didn't notice it until it hit my desk today, and it's like, oh, I don't know that you can have a pre-incident value of 2.6 million and have a 7 million loss, so not quite sure how that got past me, but I apologize for that. You will notice our incidents again are up some. Our overlapping runs, again, are up a little from last year, and you will notice the transports are up. The one thing I will make note of is if you notice 2019 monthly transports for Medic 63, if you scroll down just a little bit in there, that one was down a little bit because that one was in for service. We had a little bit of problems with that one. We actually had, the fan went through the radiator and the transmission cooler, and it came loose, and so it took Al, and thanks to Rob and them, we got it put back together, so, and it's up and running, so, and I did get a report today, our new one's due on 1st of August. So the build on that's going real well. So next one is patient count. That's just where we transported and how many we transported. Next page would be page 5, community risk reduction. I do want to commend Chief Freilich and Inspector Hillard. They worked very hard with SCAT in the schools and with both police departments to do the mock accident. The only problem with the mock accident, we got about 3/4 of the way through it and the sky let loose on us, so we had to cut it short, but I believe what we were intended and needed to get the kids to see, I believe they seen. Unfortunately, like I said, we had to cut it a little short. The picture on the left was an accident that we had at 475 and 23 where a semi rear-ended a truck, and I don't know how the guy got out with just the little injuries that he had, but thank God he did. Page 6 would be continuing some more education. Station 63's crew spent a lot more time on their new truck, getting acclimated with that. We've been at the King Road houses behind Mercy almost every day, trying to get the new guys run through there. We did also acquire a house next to Westgate Chapel on Wilford, so they've been rotating back and forth between those facilities, doing all types of things on the inside that if we don't have houses like that, it's real hard to teach guys some of the stuff that Captain Fry is able to teach them right now. And also, just to let you know, our crews are out all over. Right now, it's the week of BG Fire School. We have crews taking several different classes, but one of the huge classes is it's heavy extrication, and Central Truck Parts out on Central Avenue hosts it every year, and they allow one of our crews to come out for free to enjoy that, to get in and involved in that class every year. So they're going to be there. They were here today, Wednesday, and Thursday. They'll be at Central Truck Parts going through that, and then we have several guys in all different classes going on around the area. We did have, obviously, we attended some of the wellness functions that Janet does a nice job putting on. Page 7 is actually a little bit, some pictures of some of the other extrication stuff that the guys have been doing. Central Truck Parts offered a truck up to us one day that they said we could come out and cut up, and the guys took advantage of it. Page 8 is overtime. Overtime's up a little bit, but again, we had several things going on. Again, we had the Glass City Marathon and some other things that we actually get, it's funded, but it still shows up on some overtime. And then the very last page, Middleton Township sent us a nice little thank you. However, I was on my way home from Columbus with Lieutenant Whitcomb. We were attending a meeting in Columbus, and we came upon a serious traffic accident on northbound 75. The dust hadn't even cleared yet. Car was on fire. Kid was still trapped in the car. Sean and I assisted a couple other people getting them out of the car. We landed 2 helicopters. It was crazy that we just happened upon it, and their chief sent us a little thank you, but obviously that's what we do every day, and it was nice to be able to work with people that we don't work with every day, but everything went well. Unfortunately, the one gentleman did pass away, so that's all I have.
Any questions? for the
I
chief?
don't.
Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Thanks.
Appreciate what you're doing. Police Department,
I thought you were jumping in on me there, Jim.
first of all, how was your vacation?
It was great.
Good.
I want to have more heaven than my blue sky. I came back here to clouds. Welcome back to Ohio. All right, so let's go page 3 there, Imran, if you would, just look at the stats just real quick there. Calls for service, we're still staying steady, we're a little less than 100 a month increase, so we're about plus 370 right now, so that's staying fairly consistent, but we're still up from last year on calls for service. Looking at the burglaries and theft from motor vehicles, which, those are big ones to me out here to look at. Had 4 burglaries, down 2 for the month. Of those 4 burglaries, 3 of them were known family member suspects. A lot of our burglaries end up that way, where the people are convinced they got burglarized, but it was a family member with an opioid problem that stole from them, is what it ends up being. So 3 of those 4, we've cleared those, so they weren't. We had one where a shed on Hessler, I think it was, got broken into in a dirt bag was stolen, so in my mind, we really only had 1 legitimate B&E for the month, so that's always a good thing. Theft from motor vehicles, we had 5 for the month, up 1, and again, just a continuing problem, and we're gonna have to figure something out, try to educate our people more. We do stuff on Facebook, no forced entry in any of them. Everybody leaves their cars wide open, laptops on the seat, cell phones, wallets, and it's just crime of opportunity, so. But the stats look good, so happy with that. If you go to page 11, our community affairs section, just doing the business expo, it was a big thing for them to participate in that, and that's always a big hit. Our booth always seems to get a lot of positive feedback and everything else from the community, which is great. They did some ALICE training, 2 different places, Chabad House and on Central Park West at the Hospital Council. So that's a lot of what they do a lot of every month. There's more and more with the active shooter type training, all the businesses and things like that want it. So we're trying to do a good job to provide them. They did have, they worked with the school board there on 2 female parents got in a fight at Stranahan School out in the parking lot. There's some good cell phone video of it. We had it all on video. One mom had the other one down on the ground and beating her head to the pavement. So they shared let's see, the victim is now married to the other one's past boyfriend, and they both had children by him, and things just didn't go well between the 2 of them. So she's been barred from all school property in the meantime. So, that was an interesting video. And then if you go to page 12, we're making an effort now. We got the speed trailer out in a couple different spots. During the month, we used the message board on Whispering Oak there, which kind of ties into, I know Mr. Berry was here about 4 or 5 weeks ago at the trustee meeting, and you'd asked Mr. Crandall for a little follow-up on Whispering Oak there, what we did. So, in looking at that, I emailed Mr. Berry today. We did the signage board, the message board originally from April 8th through the 12th that first week. We just had that out to warn people.
Then after that, from then until, this recent meeting here, we were out 22 different occasions, from anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes, watching that area, and generally was light traffic, one citation and one warning. I mean, it's just, we can't sit there forever, but we gave it a heck of an effort. I know I emailed him the results earlier today, he contacted me yesterday when I got back from vacation, emailed him, I'll let him know once I tally up, so we'll try, I told him we'll try to still spot check it when we can and get, do the signage board periodically. It's such a unique intersection with that one way, we're just never gonna stop it, but we'll try to do our best to continue to monitor it, so, I don't really have any other suggestions. I know we can't, either you open it back up two-way and then it's a non-issue, or you can't close it, that's not an option for, fire and police emergency response to that neighborhood, then you really limit your ability, so it's just an unusual one with that one way there, so we'll continue to do the best we can, and I emailed Mr. Barry all our results and stuff, so I told him to contact me if he's got any more questions, concerns, whatever, so I've, responded to him, so he should know, so.
Any questions?
I don't. Any questions?
Thanks for the follow-up on that.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Chief. I'll make a motion to go into executive session at 5:31.
For the reasons?
Yeah, that's good. Non-union personnel, fire department, and union negotiations, all departments. And I think Emrod will be joining us.
For the negotiations.
Yeah.
We'll take the fire department first.
Fire department first, okay.
Yeah, but
that'll only be...
We have a expensive attorney here.
Yeah. Oh, and Jim Walters, sorry.
Second.
Okay,
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
yes.
Okay.
We come out of executive session at 6:41.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes. Or here.
Crandall?
Yes, just say yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I'll move resolution 1966, approval of termination of employment.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. I'll move adjournment at 6:42.
Second?
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.